What is up, guys? Sawcasm here, and today I have for you guys some really good news regarding an upcoming buff and changes for the weapons in Advanced Warfare. So on Twitter, Hardcon Boner has tweeted Michael Condrey, who's the head developer of Advanced Warfare. I'm loving the game and love the sarcastic humor you use, but could you please buff the MK14? Besides that, no other complaints. I agree, Hardcon Boner. First of all, it's a hilarious name, and also the MK14 is a piece of trash. And Michael Condrey replied with thanks. And yeah, all weapons are being looked at currently for a weapon balance pass. So hopefully we can see some balancing and the weapons being brought up to par with the ASM-1 and the BAL-27. I feel like those guns are just top of the class, and if the other guns are brought up to their level, it would be much better rather than just nerfing them down. So the next tweet is actually someone tweeted Michael Condrey saying that the shotties need a buff. Michael Condrey said, yeah, shotties need a buff. We're working on a full weapons tuning pass with several buffs needed across all classes. So that means they're not going to just be looking at the shotguns in particular. They're going to be buffing all the classes of the guns. And I definitely think there's a few in each category that could use it greatly. And someone replied saying that they'd like to see more buffs than nerfs, and Michael Condrey said that's where his head is at too. So I think that's a good thing. I think that the ASM-1 and BAL are, although a little bit too powerful, I think that if the other guns are brought up to their level rather than those guns being nerfed, I think it would make the game a lot more fun for everyone. As far as the assault rifles, obviously the MK14 is like a potato gun, and it shoots very, very slow, as I'm sure a potato gun would. And it feels like if you've ever played World at War, when you use a pistol or any semi-automatic weapon and you shoot too fast, then it ends up locking up, so you can't really shoot as fast as you'd like. That's how I feel like this gun is. And I also feel like the ARX is just pretty much a worse version of the IMR, so I'd like to see a buff to that as well. The HBRa3 does have some pretty severe negative qualities, such as the iron sights, the recoil, and I feel like its positives don't really make up for that enough. So I think maybe, I don't know, an increase in somewhere in there. And the AK-12 and the BAL are about on the same level in my opinion. I would argue that the BAL is a little bit better, but I think the AK-12 is fine where it is as well. As far as the SMGs, the ASM-1, I'm pretty sure we all know that it's top the class. I feel like this is the only gun that can maybe use a little bit of a nerf to bring everything to the same level. The SN6 could use a lot of changes. It definitely needs some help. It takes so long to kill. The MP11 and the KF5 both are pretty good in my opinion. I would say the KF5 is a little bit better, but this isn't an argument on which gun is better. This is an argument on which guns need the buffs, and I'd say they can both use a little bit of a buff. The KF5 probably less so than the MP11, but yeah, the SAC-3, although it's a really fun gun to use, it has its issues. It's only akimbo, so that alone brings up a bunch of problems, but it's okay. It can use a few tweaks here and there. The AMR9 is just a that's all I'm going to say for that. As far as the snipers, I'm not a sniper, I haven't used them too much, but from what I could tell, the Moors seems okay, and the other guns all need to be brought up a little bit. The two-shot, the NA-45 that shoots the explosive on the second round is really probably the worst of them all. I tried this for a while using this gun, and its blast radius just is very non-existent. And you need 2 shots to kill, so it's not really the ideal sniper rifle. As far as the shotguns, I also feel like they could all use a little bit of a buff, although the Bulldog is okay, is just about where it should be in my opinion. The S12 doesn't really have the range that it needs, and the TAC-19 just overall isn't there. So I feel like a buff all around would be fine. And the heavy guns, oh my god, the heavy weapons in this game are terrible. The EPM3, if you ever used it, it's literally like shooting a laser tag, and its recoil is just insane, even with the attachments, the foregrip and all that. Pretty much around the board it could use some buffs. The XMG, just incredibly inaccurate. I know that's the point because it shoots fast, it does pretty good damage and has a lot of ammo, but it's just way too inaccurate. And you can also switch to a mode that allows you to shoot accurately while standing still, but that's not very practical at all. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see buffed, nerfed, and etc., and what you think of these upcoming changes. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and that's about it.